The movie begins with our main character, Emma, meeting a man named Tom in a hotel room. They share a drink together, and although we aren't given much context at first, it's clear Emma is preoccupied and uneasy. She tells Tom that they can't keep seeing each other. Tom tries to persuade her to continue the relationship, but Emma insists that their affair has to end. As she's leaving, he pleads to see her one last time the following day, but she refuses, explaining that it's her wedding anniversary. The next day, Emma goes to visit her husband, Mark, at his office. His assistant greets her, gives her flowers, and wishes her a happy anniversary. As Emma walks into Mark's office, she notices a confidential police file on his desk. The document details the incident from years ago, when she was robbed and stabbed. This triggers a flashback. We see the attempted robbery, which goes wrong and ends with the attacker being injured in the eye. Emma is pulled out of her memories when Mark walks in. We learn that he's a high-powered lawyer. His latest case involves trying to revoke the parole of the man who once attacked Emma. She asks if he misses his previous work putting criminals behind bars instead of defending them. Mark, now a criminal defense attorney, says he doesn't miss it, he prefers the money. They get into the elevator together, and on a lower floor, Tom enters. Now we realize Tom works for Mark and slept with his boss's wife. The tension is thick as Tom and Emma have to pretend they don't know each other. Afterward, Emma and Mark head to a restaurant to celebrate their anniversary. Mark presents Emma with a diamond necklace as a gift. Emma, in turn, gives him a pair of Super Bowl tickets, but he rudely dismisses them, saying the team is terrible that year. While they're eating, they notice a man proposing to his girlfriend at another table. Emma watches with a sad expression, thinking back to when she used to feel that kind of happiness with Mark. Mark then fastens the necklace around her neck, and it's revealed that they've been married for 11 years. Later that night, Mark blindfolds Emma and drives her to a surprise location. When they arrive and he removes the blindfold, she sees that they're at a secluded lake house they used to visit when they were younger. Inside, Emma wanders around the house. She finds a darkroom full of photos of the two of them together. She turns on the record player and smiles as she thinks about their early, happier years. Following a trail of rose petals upstairs, Emma goes into the bedroom and finds Mark waiting for her with 2 glasses of champagne. He delivers a heartfelt apology, admitting he hasn't been a good husband and saying he wants to repair their relationship starting now. Moved by the gesture, Emma reconciles with him, and they end up making love. The next morning, Emma wakes up in bed with Mark sitting beside her. She quickly realizes that one of her wrists is handcuffed to his. Before she can process what's happening, Mark raises a gun to his head and shoots himself. Emma screams for help, but they're completely isolated. No one is around to hear her. She tries to use the phone to call the police, but it's dead. She then tries to shoot the chain of the handcuff with a gun, only to discover there are no bullets left. With no other option, she drags Mark's dead body along with her throughout the house. She manages to haul him to the walk-in closet, where she finds her wedding dress hanging. Behind it, she notices a safe concealed in the wall. Emma places the wedding dress under Mark's body to help slide him more easily across the floor. As she tries to get downstairs, she loses her balance and tumbles down the stairs along with the corpse in a painful, clumsy fall. She searches for her cell phone and eventually finds it submerged in a vase filled with water and flowers. She pulls it out, but it's completely ruined. Emma then frantically checks every drawer and cabinet in the kitchen and eventually finds a set of car keys. She struggles to get herself and Mark's body out to the car. Once she finally gets in and attempts to start it, the engine won't turn over. The gas tank has been completely drained. Suddenly, their wedding song begins to play, and a recording of Mark's voice comes over the speakers. In a bitter, passive-aggressive tone, he explains that he planned all of this because he believes Emma was ungrateful. He reveals that he knew about her affair with Tom, and that he had no intention of forgiving her or letting her continue to live a happy life. Emma goes back inside and washes the blood off her face. She then tries to remove the diamond necklace, but it won't come off. The clasp won't open. Frustrated and panicking, she eventually gives up trying to remove it and thinks of another approach. She heads into the basement, hoping to find tools or something she can use to free herself, but the shelves have been stripped bare. There's nothing useful left. Angry and overwhelmed, she starts ranting about Mark's hypocrisy. Despite punishing her for her affair, he had repeatedly cheated on her too. She remembers scrubbing lipstick and glitter off his shirt from other women. Fueled by her resentment, she drags his body back upstairs and collapses on the floor from exhaustion. Later, Emma returns to the dark room. This time, she finds a mugshot of the man who attacked her in that robbery years ago. She also notices a record with a label that says, "Play me." She puts it on the player and listens. It turns out to be a recording of her own police interview after the attack. We learn that the robber managed to stab Emma in the back, but she fought back and injured him, likely stabbing him in the eye. The recording begins to stir up intense trauma, and Emma can't handle it. She stops the record, distressed and emotionally overwhelmed. When she goes back to the living room, she notices someone outside. It's Tom, the man she had the affair with. He explains that he rushed over because he received a series of text messages from her saying she was in trouble. Emma knows she never sent those messages, which means Mark must have sent them before his death, luring Tom there on purpose. Tom quickly sees that something is horribly wrong. He also tells her that the FBI raided Mark's office and that his entire career is collapsing. Emma realizes that Mark knew his life was falling apart, which explains why he was willing to kill himself in such a dramatic way. Emma tells Tom that they need to call the police immediately because she believes Mark has set up a trap involving both of them. Tom steps outside to get his phone from the car, but before he can, they see a truck driving up the road toward the lake house. Suspicious, Tom tells Emma not to open the door for anyone except him and goes out to confront whoever is in the truck. The truck stops in front of the house, and a man named Jimmy gets out, saying he's there to fix a burst pipe. Tom offers to pay him whatever he was supposed to earn and suggests he leave. Jimmy agrees and turns to go back to the truck, but then another man, Bobby, steps out. Almost immediately, Bobby attacks Tom and stabs him multiple times. Jimmy and Bobby then force their way inside the house. While Tom lies bleeding on the floor, it becomes clear that Jimmy has a conscience and is uncomfortable with what's happening, whereas Bobby is ruthless and completely remorseless. As they search through the house, Emma has already escaped outside, dragging Mark's body with her. She makes it to the boathouse and, in a gruesome move, cuts off Mark's arms so that she can finally free herself from the dead weight attached to her wrist. Jimmy and Bobby eventually find Mark's body, but Emma is nowhere to be seen. They don't realize she's hiding directly underneath them. Now that she's seen Bobby up close, Emma recognizes him as the same man who attacked her years ago during the attempted robbery. From their conversation, she learns that Mark hired the two brothers to come to the lake house. He promised them access to the safe in the house, which supposedly contains diamonds. But with Mark now dead, the only person who might know the combination is Emma, making her their new target. After the brothers leave the boathouse, Emma crawls out of hiding and starts planning her next move. Meanwhile, Jimmy inspects the safe and figures out that it requires both a code and a fingerprint. Bobby heads out to retrieve Mark's body to get the fingerprint. At the same time, Emma drags a fuel container from the boat through the snow. She almost gets caught when Jimmy comes outside to look around, but she manages to slip away and make it into the garage. There, she tries to siphon fuel from the container into one of the cars, hoping she can finally escape. The sound of the fuel transferring catches Bobby's attention, and he comes to investigate. Emma quickly hides under the car as Bobby walks around the garage. To ensure she can't drive away, he slashes one of the tires. Once he leaves, Emma sneaks back out and runs into the house. Jimmy, who has brought Mark's body inside, doesn't notice her passing. Bobby, still suspicious, follows her into the house. Emma soon finds herself trapped on the stairs, with Bobby coming up from the basement, and Jimmy blocking the way at the top. Thinking fast, she presses the panic button on the car key, setting off the car alarm in the garage. The noise pulls both men away, and they rush back to check it out, giving Emma a brief moment of freedom. She uses that time to kneel beside Tom's lifeless body and grieve. Outside, Bobby admits to Jimmy that he has no intention of letting Emma live. He still resents her for putting him in prison for 10 years after the failed robbery. After their talk, the brothers re-enter the house to continue searching. Bobby goes upstairs while Jimmy remains on the ground floor. As Bobby reaches the upper level, he hears a noise in the attic and goes to investigate. While he's distracted, Emma emerges from her hiding place and ambushes him. She manages to knock him out and send him crashing down to the floor below. She then grabs his car keys. Jimmy, hearing the commotion, rushes upstairs and finds his brother unconscious. Emma hits Jimmy with a golf club, traps him inside a room, and breaks the doorknob so he can't get out. She sprints outside to the car and tries to start it, but Bobby, who has now regained consciousness, stops her before she can get away. During the struggle, Emma manages to grab a phone and call 911. Jimmy runs over and begs Bobby to let it go, telling him they should leave before the police arrive. Bobby refuses, consumed by anger and revenge. He kicks Emma, knocking her out. When Emma comes to, she discovers that she is once again handcuffed to Mark's dead body, and Bobby and Jimmy have dragged the safe closer to her. Bobby questions her aggressively, demanding the combination. Emma insists that she doesn't know it, but he doesn't believe her and starts beating her. When Bobby threatens to stab her again, Jimmy intervenes, unable to watch more violence. Bobby shoves him aside, but Jimmy has had enough. He grabs Mark's gun and points it at his brother, warning him to stop. Emma then speaks up, saying she'll give them the combination if they unlock her handcuff. Jimmy quickly releases her, and she gives them the code. The safe finally opens, but instead of a stash of diamonds, they find only a metal plate inside. The engraving on it explains that the diamonds that once belonged in the safe were turned into the necklace Emma is currently wearing. Emma panics, insisting that she has already tried to remove the necklace, and it won't come off. Bobby, enraged and greedy, is ready to cut off her head if that's what it takes to get the diamonds. Jimmy refuses to let him go that far. The brothers argue, and Bobby shoves Jimmy away again. He attempts to fire the gun at Emma, but it's not loaded. Bobby lunges at Emma, and they start wrestling. Jimmy steps in to stop the fight, and this time the two brothers start struggling with each other. In the chaos, Bobby accidentally slams Jimmy's head into a clothes hanger, killing him on the spot. Bobby freezes for a moment in shock at his brother's death. During that pause, Emma grabs a nearby tool and prepares to defend herself. Bobby turns back to her and vows to kill her, and they clash yet again. Emma manages to hit him with a heavy object and escapes. This time, Bobby ends up chained to Mark's body instead of her. Emma runs to the garage and jumps into Mark's car. Bobby, still attached to the corpse, chases her. She panics and reverses the car, smashing through the garage wall and colliding with the other vehicles. When the cars block her, she drives forward, hitting Bobby in the process. However, the car skids on the snow and crashes into the boathouse. Somehow still alive, Bobby drags himself toward the car with murderous determination, but Emma is no longer inside. He spots her crawling across the frozen lake and goes after her. They fight again on the ice. Emma stabs him, but the force of his body slamming into the surface causes the ice to shatter, and both of them plunge into the freezing water below. Underwater, they continue to struggle. Emma manages to pull the knife out of Bobby's shoulder and uses it against him, finally incapacitating him and breaking free of his grip. She swims upward, breaks through the surface of the ice, and hauls herself onto the frozen lake. In the final moments, Emma lies on the ice, exhausted. She takes off her wedding ring and rolls it into the dark water beneath the cracked ice. In the distance, we hear faint police sirens approaching as the film comes to an end. Your support means everything to us, so don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to stay connected.